Back up because the Group Chat podcast is back with another episode that'll have you texting your buddies faster than a last-second Saints missed extra point. Join host Casey Gisclair alongside the outspoken trio of Damian St. Pierre, Nick Hebert, and an echo-filled Tommy Bodeau as they break down and argue about all things sports and entertainment. You don't want to be the dude at work who missed their hot takes. Everyone's talking about it, so why aren't you listening? The Group Chat podcast, presented by Bayou Sports and One More Round Studios. Proudly sponsored by the law office of Tommy Bodeau, Performance Auto, and Martin's AC and Electrical. Now play some Creed and let's get to trolling.
It is the Group Chat podcast. Hope everybody is enjoying themselves today. We've got a whole bunch of stuff to talk about. We're going to be covering college and pro football, and we've got it all coming your way over the course of the next several hours. And I am Casey Gisclair. This is Mr. Nick Hebert. This is Mr. Damian St. Pierre. We're going to have Tommy Bodeau at some point in the show. Let's piss people off. Let's talk about LSU and Ole Miss. LSU loses to Ole Miss. It was frustrating. It was very apparent that something's not right with our quarterback. And really, man, I don't know where we go from here. I mean, look, at the end of the day, it's a single-digit loss to a team that's now number 4 in the country. So it's not the worst performance in the world. But it's frustrating because in the Brian Kelly tenure, we continue to lose these games that it feels like we could have and maybe should have won. And Brian Kelly's doing the whole thing of, we got to practice better and our preparation has to be better. And he went on and he said, well, we got them dropping 8 all game and we were preparing all week for dropping 7. Make an adjustment, man. They didn't even try to run the football, even though Ole Miss was begging. Lane Kiffin was begging them to run the football. They didn't. And obviously there's something wrong with Nussmeyer. We'll talk about that in just a second in more detail, as Brian Kelly said multiple things about that today. But, man, what the 24-19? I know that it looks like a stain on the defense a little bit because they did give up 480 yards.
They were on the field.
They would say they were on the field the entire game. I thought they did some really nice things. This is one where you had every chance. You were up 7-3. You were driving. Your overrated quarterback throws an interception in the red zone, and it all just kind of spiraled from there. What were y'all thoughts as y'all were watching LSU fall short in Oxford?
It's frustrating. It's super frustrating that – and look, I know I come on here and I say a lot of crap about running the ball on first down, but they were forcing us to throw the ball. And Brian Kelly said it, I think on Monday after you watched the film, that they faced 80 to 90% drop 8.
Yeah.
Which means every one of your receivers is double teamed.
Yeah.
And we don't have a guy that's throwing the football that is patient enough to dink and dive until something opens up or till you tire out a linebacker that's tired of chasing running backs out the backfield or tired of guarding slant routes. We run the ball 6 times? How many times did we run the ball?
We got Harlem Berry 7 carries, Juwan Johnson 6, Caleb Jackson, Barry and Brown each with 1, Nussmeyer with 2, which I don't might have been a sack.
That's
17,
and Xavion Thomas with 4.
So that's 21 times with 2 sacks.
21 times and 34 pass attempts for Nussmeyer.
With 80 to 90% drop 8 coverage.
Fellas, literally, and this is not an exaggeration, literally, the old Les Miles offense of just power I would have won this game by 4 touchdowns.
I did read something or I heard something this week. Do you know how many power sets we've ran this year?
None.
0.
None. Yeah. Not one.
Don't call a freaking RPO. Call a running play to be able to get yards. Look, it was the perfect way to play the LSU offense. I think I'm over the whole I'm hurt, bro deal because you win, you're not hurt. You lose, you're hurt. It's a loser limp. If he's hurt, take him out. Very, very simple. We got outplayed. We got out physical. We got out coached. We do not have an offensive coordinator that is invested in a game plan. I get it. You want to sling the ball around, but you only want to sling the ball around when you shouldn't be slinging the ball around. You only want to run when you shouldn't be running the ball. Is Joe Sloan overthinking? There was a couple of 3rd and 13s where we just handed the ball off. Hey, go make something happen.
I don't know if he just doesn't adjust. He might have came into the game with a game plan expecting Ole Miss to play a certain kind of defense and then try to throw the ball the whole game. But when Ole Miss was just dropping back into coverage, like you said, all our receivers were basically double teamed. They had 3 men on the line, and we didn't even try to run the ball.
And we were still getting pressured.
And when we
with
did,
a 3-man front.
When we did run the ball, we got Harlan Berry averaging 3.1 yards a carry, Juwan Johnson averaging 3 yards a carry, Xavier Thomas averaging 1.8, and that was all the guys that got more than 2 carries. So it's like we weren't even that says a lot about your offensive line when you got 3 men on the line and you can't average more than about 2 or 3 yards a carry.
Kevon Lacey, 23 carries, 93 yards, out rushed and out touched the entire backfield for LSU.
We've got to fire Brad Davis to the fucking moon because his entire tenure in Baton Rouge, the offensive line has been bad. LSU has not had a successful running back in his tenure. Did LSU run the football effectively with Jaden Daniels? Yeah. Was that because of blocking? No, that was because Jaden Daniels was incredible and was doing things that we just had not seen. This was frustrating, man. Another thing, we had a bunch of drops. Again, Caleb Jackson, a huge drop on a 3rd down play. He would have got 30 yards, huge drop. Wide receivers would drop. So they're not helping Nuss out either. Now let's talk about the Nussmeyer thing. Reports on social media were that he has a torn labrum. He's going to get surgery next week. He's out for the season. Brian Kelly said today those reports are inaccurate. He does not have a torn labrum. He has an abdomen injury that has been slow to heal. Brian Kelly also said at his Wednesday radio show, actually just about an hour ago, he said that Garrett Nussmeyer has not practiced this week, will not practice this week, and Van Buren has received 100% of the first team reps and, quote, has looked like a starter. Is there a possibility or a world where Van Buren is playing in the next couple of games in a pinch, whatever it may be, or are we going to just get dent-can Nussmeyer for the rest of the season?
That is a brilliant observation right there. Dent-can Nussmeyer. I might make a shirt. Look, I loved what I saw out of Van Buren. I think in college football, you need to have a dual threat quarterback to win. NFL, not so much. But with some of the offenses and the way that they're managed, that to me, that's what you need. And if he can't do what Nussmeyer's doing right now, we're going to be in a really bad bind. But I think there's anybody that has a D1 jersey on a Power 5 conference team that could do what Nussmeyer's doing right now. He's not doing anything special. He's just taking up space, and I'm hurt.
Brian Kelly said also tonight on his radio show, he was asked by a person in the listening audience, he was asked, do you have any like Taysom Hill type short yardage plays where you direct snap it to Van Buren or something like that to get a little more of an option there? And he said, basically, yeah, we do, but we're not taking Garrett Nussmeyer off the field to do those types of plays. Meaning if we do them, it's going to be with Nuss. Meaning we're not going to do them because he's not going to run. I don't know, man. I don't get it. I'm curious to see where we go from here. You do have a bye. It's a much-needed bye. And it's just so frustrating because, man, for years and years, last couple years, the entire Brian Kelly tenure was, bro, we could score like crazy if only we had a defense. And now it's just the exact opposite of the seesaw. We're now here. Man, if only we could score, we got such a great defense. We just never could get it. If we'd all be on the same page, bro, we would get it. But unfortunately, we just have not been able to make that happen.
There's too much talent on that roster to be playing that the way that we are currently. It's frustrating. I'm glad we get a week off. My brain and my heart could take a break. It's not going to get any easier, man. I mean, South Carolina's not going to come here and lay down. You got to get a really good quarterback if he's healthy, and you got a coach that's fighting for another job, I'm going to assume. You think about Trinidad Chambliss.
He played pretty good. I mean, he put the ball in danger a couple times. He got intercepted once. We had a pick six that got called back by interference, I guess. They were both hand fighting.
I was more aggravated with the one right after.
Yeah. He was okay. I mean, no, not okay. He was good. He was good. Better than I thought he was.
Better than our quarterback.
Better than our quarterback, absolutely. I'm still a little worried about him as a passer when he's not facing a defense that's exhausted. But we'll see. I mean, Ole Miss got the win. The most impressive thing to me was at the 50-yard line with the game on the line. Lane Kiffin could have punted it back to and he said, nope, we're winning it right here. LSU would have punted that ball 1,000 times out of 1,000 times. They might even have punted on third down just to be extra careful. Lane said, nope, we're winning the game right here. That's exactly what they did. I applaud him for that. He grabbed the bull by the horns. He went out and he won the game for his team. He trusted his kids to win the game. They called a nice play, burned LSU on that little bootleg, hit the tight end, game over, take a knee. Lane coached to win. and they made it happen.
You want a stat update?
Sure.
Out of 134 FBS teams, LSU ranks rushing offense 119.
Gross.
Passing yards per completion 107. Total offense 88. Scoring offense 79 and red zone offense 77.
And take away the game against Southeastern, see how bad that would be. That'd be all in the 100s.
The first comment is, I feel like you could give a baboon a headset and a play sheet and accidentally have a better run game than us with Durham and Barry.
One stat they talked about during the game that was, I think, the most glaring stat of all this whole game was if you add up the LSU runs plus the passing attempts by Nussmeyer, what is it?
34.
34 plus 22.
56.
56. And then if you add up the passing attempts by Chambliss and their team runs.
So that's 84.
84 to
56.
They get 30 more plays than you. How are you going to beat a team that gets 30 more plays than you and we lost by 5 points?
Yeah, it's that's rough, man. That's rough. They outplayed you pretty badly, and you still had a chance, man. Like, if you could have just got off the field, you still had a really good chance. If Nussmeyer doesn't throw another red zone interception, what was he doing? That has nothing to do with being hurt, by the way. You throwing into triple coverage in the red zone has nothing to do with you being hurt.
It's a selfish play. It's a play just not being disciplined.
I was about to go on a rant about the Philly special that they ran inside the red zone, but that was the Saints.
Well,
hey, how about the NCAA fourth leading rusher, 570 yards from NC State? How about this name? Hollywood Smothers.
My guy. You think he's got some NIL deals coming in? Hollywood Smothers.
I feel like that's that's like Tracy Smothers' younger brother. I guarantee he doesn't look like Tracy Smothers' younger brother.
I think you guys both hit the nail on the head. Welcome relief. I don't want to watch this team on Saturday. As much as I love football season, as much as I dread when it's done, I need a break.
We have a full weekend to watch our Iowa State Cyclones.
Yeah, what are we looking forward to on the NCAA side this week? What game?
Miami, Florida State, Dabo versus Belichick. Dabo is like asking Clemson to fire him. I've never seen anybody be that defiant and like, well, hey, bro, if y'all want to lose some more games, just go ahead. Dude, you're 1-3. He's calling them out. He faces Belichick on Saturday. They're a huge favorite. They've been a huge favorite and have been losing.
But it's a circus.
Oh, yeah.
UNC right now.
Yeah, it's bad. I want to see Tommy's boy. There's a lot of whispers that Florida will fire their coach Monday, Napier, because it's their 5th game. So the guys can't opt out after the 5th game. They're playing Arch Manning in Texas. Will either team even score in that game? Vanderbilt and Alabama. Vanderbilt beat the crap out of Alabama last year. I'm going to whisper this into the mic. I think Alabama's the best team in the country.
I think they're going to cover this week.
It pains me to say that, but I think they're the best team in the country right now. Yeah, there's going to be some fun. Here's the thing about a Saturday without LSU. You could sit down, you could get sauce, and you could just troll everybody else's ineptitude and forget about your own for a while. Speaking of ineptitude.
Can you do that on a regular Saturday?
Yeah, well, fair enough. We got the counselor who is probably going to be echoing. We welcome one of our partners here and one of our co-hosts, Mr. Tommy Botto of the Law Office. Tommy J. Botto, what's good, brother? How we doing?
Pretty good, man. Just got off a one before last regular season game before we start the flag football playoffs. And my youngest kid has his last game tomorrow, so pizza trophies and the Coach Botto special Freezy Pops for a well-played season.
Okay.
Wait. Pizza comma trophies or pizza trophies?
The playground for the 5- and 6-year-olds, every last game of every season, they get a pizza party equipped with participation trophies. I, being the great guy that I am, bring them Freezy Pops throughout the year, and the last game is one of those games.
This is the old school, liquid in a sleeve freeze pops?
Yeah,
or
freeze pops. Cool Pops.
Cool Pop. Okay, all right.
Cool Pops.
Yeah.
I'm
Cool
sorry.
Pop.
The kids up here call them Freezy Pops. I was calling them Cool Pops, and they're looking at me like I was an idiot. So,
well, you tell them that they're idiots. It's
fair enough. But no, we're good. Curtis got a big win last week after trying to give the game away.
Curtis, what you doing on my field?
Yeah,
I don't know what they were doing in the field in the third quarter. It was bad.
They played poorly in the third quarter against Rummel.
Oh my God! They muffed a punt, gave them the ball at inside their own 20. Then I think they fumbled the ball in the next drive. It was just not good.
We were just talking about LSU, so go ahead and get it out of the way. Go and talk about us and say how Lane Kiffin's the greatest and how he's going to lead Florida to 75 national championships. Get all your out of the way.
I loved it. So I didn't watch any of the game because I was out doing Damian and Pierce and murder things. I was caught up to speed throughout the whole thing, and Lane Kiffin did what I thought he would do, planted his own daughter, sacrificed her, and it came true. Now the Nuss bus is on fire, worse than when he was throwing frozen turkeys out of it. So I, for one, am loving it.
Just saw breaking news that Lane Kiffin's daughter's dating Gunnar Stockton of Georgia now.
No, she's not going for Arch this week?
Tommy, is your boy going to save his job?
Absolutely not. In fact, I'm probably going to make Texas my lock this week.
Too late.
Oh, so you might have some competition.
I'm hoping they lose. I heard what you guys were talking about. I listened back to last week's podcast before I got on. I think Nick's spot on. I think it was Nick, so I don't want to give him too much credit, but I think they're waiting past the transfer deadline, and they're just going to can his ass. There's no reason to keep him. Unless DJ Lagway straight up says, I am 100% leaving, no matter who you hire. If he goes, that is the only way you consider it. But at this point, why would DJ Lagway want him to stay and just tank his value even more?
The $1 million question that everybody in Gainesville is asking is, will Lane Kiffin entertain that offer? I think he's number one on Florida's list. All of the Ole Miss people say, nope, absolutely not. His daughter's at school at Ole Miss. She told Lane not to go to Auburn and all this, that, and the other. So all the Ole Miss people are very confident that Lane would leave for one job, Alabama. That's it. All the Florida people are saying, yeah, but we could offer more money, and we've won championships, and Ole Miss never has, and Lane likes to play games with the media. You are an objective person, though you are a Florida fan. I'm going to put you on the spot. If Lane does get offered this job in December, is he going to leave Ole Miss and go to Florida?
I think so. I think no matter how much you build up Ole Miss, even with the Eli and Deuce years, they're never going to be on the level that a Florida is. Look, we're not a powerhouse now, but they're always going to be in the spotlight. They're always being talked about. And they're sponsored. They're Jordan Brand football team now. They've got the money. They've got the reputation. They've got better facilities and I think a better overall program to land elite talent on a regular basis than Ole Miss does. So I think he entertains it. What I've been seeing on the Twitter sphere and things like that, it's Lane, it's Dan Lanning, and it's a boy. I think is it the Georgia Tech coach? Is Brent Key? Is that his name?
Yeah.
I think those are the three names that have been popped up by all the beat writers and insiders, if you will. That's their top three is those guys. I don't see Lanning.
Let me
leaving,
tell you,
but
I was going to say Dan Lanning's telling you no, so you're down to two already.
I don't think Kiffin's leaving. There's no college in the SEC that is more Lane Kiffin than Ole Miss.
I think Florida gives him an avenue to be Steve Spurrier Jr.
Nudie, too good for everybody. University, Ole Miss. I don't think Florida's jarts and.
Which, by the way, how does anybody from Mississippi have that?
They've never won anything.
Who would think that the University of Mississippi would have the gimmick of being the genius?
The White of the SEC.
And they are that. And I've been there. That's exactly what it is. How could the University of Mississippi have that?
Can I answer truthfully?
Sure, go ahead.
I think it stems from plantation culture in years past and just never went back to regular civilization. They just think they're better than everybody else, and it stems from that lineage and bloodline.
Didn't they change their mascot into a shark at one point?
No, that was the defense's name. They were the Rebel Bears for a while. I think they had a black bear. Yeah, that was when wasn't that the year after Pat Willis and all? They were running around doing fins up.
Oh, that was when they were cheating ass off. Those are the good old days of Ole Miss football for sure. So we got Vanderbilt and Alabama, Tommy. Vanderbilt got beat up. Alabama got beat up by Vanderbilt last year. Vanderbilt is undefeated. They're 5-0. I just whispered into the mic, I'm not going to do that again, but I think Alabama is the best team in the country. Is this big revenge here? Is Alabama going to just beat the crap out of these dudes on Saturday?
Got a 10-point spread, and I'm looking for them to cover. I think Diego Pavia is going to get pummeled.
Yeah. No
pun intended.
So let me ask you this, Counselor. Are you now, because you told us last week, you said, I'm rooting for Lane. And then I even told you, like, hey, you got to be careful because if Ole Miss goes to the playoff, he's not leaving a playoff team. Like, that's the trick about getting a coach in the carousel. you want to get him super early for that early signing period. But if they're playing in the January, he's not going to leave. So now at what point do you start rooting against Ole Miss and hoping that the wheels fall off so that he's not tied to them when it's time to make the move in December?
Oh, I'm already. I was just rooting for him this week. Are you kidding? I mean, anytime I see a team with a legitimate shot to beat LSU, I'm going to root for them. So obviously, yeah, I wanted that. It was a twofer for me. Lane, hey, he wins a big game and back in the media spotlight after the whole my daughter's now dating the star linebacker thing. So obviously, I just wanted him. I wanted to see what he would do. I still don't think he's finished. Maybe with his little snarky comments and things like that. But yeah, I mean, I was trying to hurry up and pull up Ole Miss's schedule for the rest of the year, but
it's tough.
I think I said it last year. They're going to do what Ole Miss does, and they're going to win a big game, and then they fold towards the end of the season. They might salvage their season and have a winning record, but I don't think he's on a crash course for the playoff or a title or anything like that.
The betting folks love him. I'll tell you that.
Let me ask you guys this, and I just saw this. ESPN.com posted a link today ranking every single Power 4 quarterback. Where do you guys, and there's 68 of them total, where do you guys think Nuss is, and where do you guys think Arch Manning is on the list?
Arch is probably in the 30s, and Nuss is probably in the 50s.
Jeez.
Go ahead.
I'd say Nuss in the high teens, Arch in the 30s.
Tommy?
I'm going to go Arch in the low 18 to 25 range, and Nuss is in 25 to 30.
Nuss is 37. Yeah. Arch is 41. Crazy, bro.
I know how people think.
Who would have thought at the beginning of the
Klubnik?
Season? Let's go find Klubnik. I'm scrolling up. I probably should be scrolling down.
He's going to be between them.
And look, Sellers is 27. That's another guy that we 26.
Who's won the dude? Indiana.
Oh God, yeah.
Beck 18. Who is no
Tommy,
one?
Did you hear Hollywood Smothers?
That's a
fifth ranked running back.
He needs to get a Smucker's NIL deal. When you smother the jam on your biscuit. Yeah, smuck that. I like that.
So the top three boys: Jaden Maivia of USC 1, Diego Pavia 2, and Trinidad Chambliss number 3 at Ole Miss. That's just disgusting.
You got two games.
Fernando Mendoza's number 4.
You got a 2-game resume, man.
It's only because John Mateer's hurt.
Mateer's hurt, and Dante Moore from Oregon, I think, was 5 or so. Rocco Beck.
Let me go find my boy from Clemson, because I'm still scrolling, and it's okay. By the way, Bryce Underwood 38. Scrolling, still scrolling. We're past 50, still not there. 54th, Kate Klubnik out of 68. Drew Alar, 55th out of 6. These are all the guys the Saints are after. Nuss,
the top 4
Arch,
prospects.
Alar, Sellers, Klubnik. These are the guys the Saints want. They're not even in the upper half of college football. But yet they're going to be going to New Orleans with the first overall pick in the draft, which is a great segue. Let's talk about the New Orleans Saints and professional football. The Saints are going to be hosting the New York Football Giants on Sunday.
Whoa. Let's talk about the Bills game where the Saints had a chance to win in the fourth quarter, had the ball. They were down 5 and didn't win, but pretty good showing by the New Orleans Saints on Sunday.
I mean, yeah, they lost by double digits. Congrats.
They covered.
They did cover. Yeah, they did.
That's all that matters.
They did. Look, man, so I'm sure you guys saw the post on social media of Dart on one side, Rattler on the other, and me making fun of Rattler being 0-10. I was expecting Saints fans to be all over, like, hell yeah, this dude sucks, and hey, he's 0-10, and everybody loves this guy, man. And look, he's 18 of 27. 126 yards. That's not that good. He did run a little bit, 6 for 49. But New Orleans' offense just doesn't have any explosiveness at all. So what happens is, if they're not perfect, they don't score. And here's the thing that they do. They commit penalties out the wazoo. So that's what kills all of their drives. Causes them to kick field goals, screws them out of touchdowns. And then, Kellen Moore doing Kellen Moore things, running the annexation of Puerto Rico on the goal line and throwing an interception with Olave. the only punch-drunk quarterback more than Olave was Kerry Collins in the history of the Saints franchise.
I don't think he was punched.
31-19 loss to the Bills. It was a good showing. It was better than against Seattle, better than what I thought it was going to be. But it's disappointing and it's depressing hearing, because you're not wrong. It was a good performance, and they still lost by 12. That's now the good performances these days.
Did y'all think that the Bills were going to go down and score a touchdown and cover and hit 16?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
That's exactly what was in my head.
Oh, absolutely. I thought the Bills were going to cover.
Okay, so Alvin Kamara, probably our best player on offense, at least. They're not getting much out of him. I like that they're starting to use Kendre Miller, but we don't throw the ball at all to Kamara. Like that, I feel like that's one of his best attributes, that he is a good receiver out the backfield. We don't look for him. We're not getting the ball downfield on our passing.
Never.
Like he completed 18 passes for 126 yards, which is not bad, but it's just check down.
Well, look,
That's all we're doing.
To compare, Josh Allen's 16 completions with 209 yards.
Right. We have a guy that could break open, like he can take the top off the defense with Rashid Shaheed. We don't do that anymore this year. We did last year. We did the year before. Not using him in that capacity anymore. Olave's scared to catch the ball. Olave's apparently scared to throw the ball as well, because he ran the Philly special, or it's not exactly the Philly special, but that's what they called it on the broadcast. And as soon as he touched the ball, he threw it off balance on one foot. And there was no chance. The defender made an incredible play, but there was no chance that we were getting a completion off of that pass.
Why are you calling that? They were running it down their throat, that drive. Why are you calling that on the goal line, bro?
Shout out Kendre Miller. I know Kamara's old, probably not much of a trade market for him, but I think the passing of the guard is happening before our eyes with Kendre Miller. I think he's the guy now. And, you're not going to trade Kamara for a first or second or third or fourth round pick, but Kendre Miller is creeping into his snaps, and he's producing.
Y'all know it's going to be depressing. And, I don't know if Kamara wants to be traded. I think he's actually kind of happy in New Orleans. But y'all know what would be depressing is that if the Saints trade him to, I don't know, I'm going to just make up a team, not even knowing if they need a running back or not, but like Detroit or whatever. I know they don't need a running back. I'm just making up a contender. He's going to be 24-year-old Kamara again and dominating immediately. That's going to be the depressing thing, is when they trade him for pennies on the dollar, he's going to have that one last surge left in him.
Speaking of Detroit running backs, Tommy, did you go listen to what I sent you earlier this week?
I was highly impressed with that whole. I feel that if we would have started recording ourselves back when we were 13 and 14, that's exactly what we sounded like.
I want to give credit where credit is due, right? We're our own podcast, obviously, but one of my favorite podcasts to listen to, aside from ours, is Pardon My Take, right? They're straight up entertaining. Tommy hates them, but I said, dude, go listen to this. So I am old school. You guys are old school. I miss the days of Tom Jackson and Chris Berman.
Yeah, absolutely.
Going at it. Now I'm watching some woke slut talk about whatever the hell's going on, and I don't trust the people. I don't want to hear Jason Garrett talk about anything. It's boring. They Pardon My Take, do a fastest 2 minutes in football, very similar to what Berman used to do at halftime. It's phenomenal. It's quick. It's witty. And one of the best nicknames that I've heard since Chris Berman was a playoff of Michael Jackson's I'm Looking at the Man in the Mirror. He said, they were talking about Jameer Gibbs. He said, I'm looking at Jameer in the mirror. And I was like, this is good. Like, this takes some thought.
So you're not a Mina Kimes guy? Not a Maria Taylor guy? No comment.
I'm not gonna go as far as Turtle does, but you can miss me with that.
Tommy, let me ask you this, bro. Before we start talking about the Giants matchup, Taysom Hill's 21-day window has opened. He's not going to play Sunday, but he has 21 days where he is allowed to practice before coming off of the PUP list. A lot of people are saying he's about 2 or 3 weeks away from maybe coming back. Taysom Hill's 35 years old. Taysom Hill is he's a guy that doesn't shy away from contact. He doesn't run away from it. He wants to run you over. He has had upper body and now lower body injuries. He's an extremely popular player in the organization. I get why, because he does everything. He's unique. Is there any juice left for the squeeze, or are we going to see a Taysom Hill that's going to be a shell of his former self?
So this might sound, I don't know how to exactly put this, but I think there is some juice left in the tank because of how often he's been hurt in his career. So he doesn't have the tread on his tires that most people do. You got to also count into the fact he's Mormon, so he was an older quarterback after his missions. So he's not a normal, and let's just call a spade a spade. You don't see a white guy with that kind of speed and athleticism. So he's not your normal 35-year-old Swiss Army kind of guy. But B, on the other side, I think it's twofold. He knows he doesn't have that many years left. He is the biggest draw on that team, I think, right up there with Kamara. He's got to come back to give this fan base and this team something. Because, as soon as he breaks one of those stupid little trademark runs, I say stupid, but he makes it look stupid. He makes other people look stupid. I'm a huge fan. Had I known we've been talking about him, I'd have worn my Taysom Hill shirt. But, he's going to he's going to break off one of those runs that he shouldn't get 1 yard and he gets 60, and that'll be the play of the season. It'll get people hyped up. It might lead him to a win. And also shout out, he's the only quarterback in the quarterback room, if they let him in there, with a NFL victory under his belt. So it's got to count for something. He's a team leader. They got some leadership. I don't see him, maybe he rides off into sunset with another couple years on some other team, but I think he's going to come back. He's going to play. And I think there's definitely something there because our offense looks like to be sputtering. You need some kind of spark. And what is Taysom Hill, if not a human spark? So,
look, guys, the team is now 0-4. And let me ask you this. There's people that are wondering, hey, what's going on? You drafted a rookie second-round guy, and the whole thing is like, hey, he doesn't have an amazing amount of upside, but he's ready to go right now because he's 25 years old now, 26. Why are we not at least seeing them try to throw Shuck out there? He went out there and he played one series of garbage time against Seattle. Everybody had quit by then. It was a quick 3-and-out. Is things just not going well in practice? Is he not ready? Is he not good? Where we sold a bill of goods and the kid's not? Look, his college stats are never all that great to begin with. I was always a little skeptical. If they threw him out there tomorrow, would it be about the same, much worse, maybe better? If they threw him out there tomorrow, what would we see if Shuck got out there with that offense?
You're looking at the biggest Tyler Shuck fan that you know. And
I still don't understand why necessarily.
It's a gimmick. It's all a work.
Okay.
But I think Spencer Rattler's doing a good job as our quarterback. He kind of needs a little help from the offensive line, kind of needs a little help from his receivers to break tackles and try to make it down the field. But you remember the old New York Mets pitcher Anthony Young that had that long losing streak, but he was actually doing pretty well as a pitcher?
Yeah, had a pretty good ERA, yeah.
Spencer Rattler is the Anthony Young of the NFL. 0-9, I believe it is.
0-10, baby.
0-10.
0-10.
You a boxer who was 0-10. His name was 0-10. You had to been there. Spencer Rattler is the Anthony Young of the NFL.
Tommy,
he don't deserve it. He don't deserve to be 0-10.
Tommy, if we saw Shuck, what would we expect to see?
So here's what I'm thinking now. I'm thinking that Kellen Moore took this guy just to say, hey, we tried drafting a quarterback early and see what happened because he sucks. And they are literally going to say, oh, we want to bring him along slow, knowing he's not ready. And so they're going to sit in this whole year saying, oh, he's got to get up to speed. We got, we're doing the Aaron Rodgers thing and in hopes that once they unleash him next year, he's going to suck again. And it's going to be like the super secret tank. And then they're going to get a quarterback in 2 years, 2 or 3 years. Not saying it's tank for Arch, but they're playing the so play. But they wanted to shut the fan base up who always says, oh, bro, y'all never take a quarterback. When y'all did, it was Garrett Grayson. So they took a second rounder. And now, look, dude, if you can't – and I love Spencer Rattler. I think he's doing great. I think our offensive line is absolutely terrible, especially when you look at the capital we've got invested there. Like, we are supposed to have a legit line. What do we got? Yeah. 5 first rounders? At least 4 first rounders.
Every one of them.
Like, what are we doing here? RB, how great was Drew Brees? Because McCoy and Ruiz were studs with a decrepit Drew Brees with 6 broken ribs or whatever the hell. He had 9 broken ribs. So I don't understand it. I really don't know what's going on. Rattlers, I wouldn't say the whole thing is like it was last year, but dude, he's doing good. At one point, he had better stats than Caleb Williams.
And he's scrambling, getting yards and getting first downs off the run.
You know, you put Spencer Rattler in 49ers. I'm not saying but he's pretty much Brock Purdy. Like,
where the fuck is plugged in?
Second week in a row. One second. Damien's going to have to get up out of the seat and go and plug in the old iPad.
We were talking about
boys off the pup list.
Yeah, so Mike Triplett said Taysom Hill worked primarily with the quarterbacks, but also with the tight ends, both throwing and catching passes during individual drills. We saw during portion of the Saints practice open to media Wednesday. So that's a little interesting. Maybe they're doing that to, I don't know, maybe keep some contact off of him, but working primarily with the quarterbacks?
He's trying to teach Tyler. Yeah, he's trying to teach Tyler Shuck how to throw.
Is there a world where he comes back and maybe is, I don't know, the starting quarterback?
Not this year. You're not competing for anything. He's not,
But hey, look, let me ask you this. You just said exactly what I think a lot of people are thinking, though, okay? You're not competing for anything this year. So why not give them what they want? Have some fun Sundays of number 7 back there just doing.
I'm with you to an extent, but I think before you do that, you'd have to throw Shuck in there and at least see. Like, hey, at least get some development if you're not playing for anything. I would love to see it. It'd be exciting as hell. At least give him a couple series and just, where he knows, hey, it's not just gadget. It's there you go. Here's your drive. That would be entertaining as hell. And then, people who are louder than me, I still think 3 years ago was the best move they could have did. But of course, oh no, we got Trevor Siemian.
You said something there a second ago that it's, as a person that doesn't necessarily root for the Saints, it brings a Grinch-like smile to my face. You just said a second ago, you don't think they're going to draft a quarterback in this coming draft and they're going to slow play this with Shuck. So there's a world where next year we're in this same Rattler and Shuck pissing contest again.
With another first-round offensive lineman?
You have to be. You got to fully commit. And people have alluded to it. I think Underhill's one of them saying, hey, they're not doing normal Saints things. When the safety got hurt, they're not trying to make big splash signings or do whatever they're doing. Or they're making stupid trades, but like backwards. Like they're trading 6th and 7th round picks instead of, we're going to go get somebody because we're competing for this year kind of thing. I think they have to commit to the rebuild. You're not catching. Do it now. Do it now while the Panthers still suck. Do it now while the Falcons are still in disarray. Obviously I'm the biggest Baker Mayfield fan in the world, but Tampa Bay it's their division to lose. So if you're going to suck while a lot of your division's sucking too, and try to do something, try to build. And if Shuck's the guy, sit him this year so he doesn't embarrass you. So I think that's the worst mistake is if Loomis says, hey, we got to play our 2nd round pick, and he comes out and looks like freaking Jake Haener. Now hey, here's our future, and there it is. It's already over. And then you got to trot out Spencer Rattler, your 6th round pick, who's your best quarterback. I think he is, but I don't. Yeah. I think that's why you slow play it this year. You do not want Shuck coming out and JJ McCarthy and things and just getting all messy.
But why isn't he ready, man? Like Jaden Daniels was good right away, and I get it; it's a different level of talent. But I'm talking about 5-year college player. I think Jaden Daniels actually was a 6-year college player. Joe Burrow, 5-6-year college player, was ready right away. We were sold, hey man, this dude's gonna be ready to go, and it doesn't look like he's even anywhere near ready to go. He's older than Spencer Rattler is. Why is he so far away from being ready? Will he ever be ready?
I didn't think he was ready. I'm still confused of why the hell they picked him. I'd have rather Shador.
Right.
Dylan Gabriel is starting. Literally, Dylan Gabriel is starting in a European game. That dude was what, 4th?
Yeah.
I don't understand it. I didn't understand it when they picked him. I don't understand it now. I think that's just they know if they throw him out there, he's going to look, and any hope that we had that he's the guy in the future is out the door.
It's crazy, man. Well, look, the Saints are favored on Sunday against the Giants. In the preseason, when they released all the lines, the Saints were only favored against the Jets. That has changed. They are favored by 1.5 points against the Giants. The Giants are coming off of a win against the Chargers, 21-18. They are now starting their Jackson Dart, the guy that a lot of Saints fans wanted. They got Scatabo in the backfield who's trucking people. Malik Neighbors is out for the season. What are we going to expect here? Is Sunday the day where the Saints get the one and get their first victory of the season? Or will Dart run wild and because look, far be it for the Saints to get crushed at home by a rookie quarterback. RG3 done it. We've seen it several times. The Saints are more than capable of laying a complete egg in this one. What are we expecting to see in the Dome on Sunday?
Expect to see a lot of what I'm terming the New York Giants backfield as exciting whites to be poured a lot of glasses, and that is quickly becoming one of my favorite teams.
Nicholas, is this the night for the Saints?
Okay, so last week, going into Buffalo, undefeated Buffalo Bills, winless New Orleans Saints, I said they had no business winning that game or no business competing in that game, and they competed. So every year the Saints have this one game where they have no business competing in it, and they compete. And every year the Saints have probably 13 games where they should be able to compete, and they just lay an egg. And this Sunday is going to be the lay an egg. Giants are going to win this game.
Tommy, were you on board the Jackson Dart train before the draft?
I was.
Yeah? Is he going to light us up on? I'd say us, like I'm a Saints guy. Is he going to light the Saints up on Sunday?
No, because he's too high. He's too full of himself right now. And as much as I love me an exciting white backfield, I was a huge Scattaboo guy as well. I love to see him run. Not having Malik Neighbors, the Giants weren't a good team. They came out, they punched the Chargers in the mouth, but now they're riding too high because nobody gave them a shot in that game. Now they're coming in, and Jackson Dart's starting to chirp. I don't know how true that is, but I saw a lot of articles. I got a chip on my shoulder because I should be, the Saints passed on me, blah, blah, blah. But I think this is it. Now, who are they throwing to? Freaking Wandale Robinson. Who never goes more than 5 yards. Like, you spy Jackson Dart, you just play prevent defense, and you try to tackle Scattaboo. It shouldn't be that hard. We have Stutzman and Werner, so white-on-white violence all day. I love it. Let's do it.
So you calling Dub? I know we got a formal pick'em segment.
Saints, this is it. This is one of their 3 victories on the year. They're doing it.
All right, fair enough. We got a little boxing on the list. Our guy, James Johnson, unfortunately, he came on the show, unfortunately, kind of got beat up a little bit this weekend. He was fighting out in Farmers Market, Oklahoma City, and lost a unanimous decision, 78-71, 79-70, 78-71 to Alfred Ratcliffe, who was 7-5 coming in. Damian, I know that you got a good relationship with James. Have you had a chance to speak with him since the fight? And what do you know about this outcome this past weekend?
So James streamed the fight live on his Facebook page. I believe the fight was a lot closer than those scorecards read. I was actually pretty impressed with the conditioning that James had, the work output that he did have. He had that guy on the outs a couple times, but obviously Joey Krasniqi, Tanya Matthews, and David Sutherland saw differently. But James did say he felt really good in camp and that he wants to run it back. So I don't know if he's going to fight this cat again or he's going to have kind of a swan song in his hometown, which would be great because the dude could probably sell out some venues. Or what he's going to do, but from what I'm gathering from social media, that he's gonna be back. Hey, shout out to Raymond Chacon from Torrance, California. Got his 11th win as a professional on that same card against Malipai Njai, 10-8. Raymond sported a record previously coming into that fight of 10-70-1, including ton of losses in a row. That's why you keep fighting, man. You never know which one it's your day.
Why would somebody fight in their hometown?
Well, he's from California, fought in Oklahoma at a farmer's market. So
No. You were talking about James Johnson saying he would go have a swan song in his hometown. Why would he do that?
I don't know. We need to put together a temporary building in Alaska, and that might be better.
Okay, fair enough. Let me ask you this, and we are getting closer. We're now in the month of October. We're about 2.5 weeks away from the Pontchartrain Center fight, where Jonathan Guidry is going to be making his return to the ring. We still don't have an announced...
Sorry.
No, you're good. We still don't have an announced opponent for Jonathan Guidry. Let me ask you this. In situations like this, you guys were promoters. You guys know how this works. Does Jonathan know who he's fighting yet? Does anyone know who Jonathan's fighting yet? Or is it going to just be a situation where, like, the week of, they'll just go find some bum and pay him $1,000 and Jonathan will just knock him out in one round?
It's harder than you think. It's harder than the average person would think to get a fight made. It's a heavy pressure situation that you got to rely on some pretty unreliable folks. So probably talking to a ton of people, and they're probably just waiting for that contract to be signed to be able to announce something. I would assume that they have somebody in place. Is there any other cards?
Yeah, they got some matches. Delvin McKinney against Miguel Angel Rebulosa, Gareth Payton against Dion Ronnie Hale, Shelton Volaton against Taron Ward, Junior Posada against Prentice Canada, Marcus McDaniel against Nola Lacoste. So let me ask you this, and this is completely me just making but let's say they don't have an opponent narrowed down, and let's say they're picking out of like 4 people or whatever. We are now in October. The fight is October 17th. When is it? Oh, we better get somebody time.
They probably making calls.
Yeah,
about now.
Yeah.
But look, I mean, you wait a little bit longer. You got a guy. Maybe you pick him up. He's not in camp, and make it a little bit easier payday for you.
The longer you wait, the more expensive it becomes to find somebody on short notice to take that fight.
Yeah,
Jonathan's got a good record, so you're not going to get somebody to come in for $200 a round. It's gonna take some money to bring in an opponent, no matter what their record looks like.
I gotta say, I'm a little disappointed in seeing the records of some of these matchups. Normally, for this event, it's pretty good.
It seems to be left side destroying the right side in pretty much every fight that I see here.
That's a little disappointing.
I love the Jonathan, or just somebody on the A side of the card's record against a veteran of 62 fights on the other side.
1-61.
Oh, so that was the next question I was going to ask before we segue and start doing some more pick'em stuff. Okay, Jonathan's 21, 1-2. Over or under, when we finally do get this announced, over or under 25 losses for his opponent?
Probably under.
Yeah, I'm going to say under.
Under? Okay.
Now, if you give me 16, I think that's
16.
probably the right number.
So we're looking at like 9-16, 9-16-2. Something like that.
I think that would be probably on the upside of that.
3-16-2.
If judging from the rest of this, yeah. If you got more than 6 wins and
over, okay. Now, knowing that, over under Jonathan being in the ring for 90 seconds,
he's going to probably take his time, depending on who the opponent is. I think I'm more concerned about the weight of Jonathan Gibbs.
Oh yeah, that's always been the thing.
How serious are we taking this? I haven't seen his social media. I know he's pumping up the fight, but
he was 287 in his last fight. I know Jonathan also had a run where he was in the hospital, like a leg infection or something. So he's obviously off of his feet there. I also, like you, I'm going to be curious to see what that weigh-in weight is going to be, because when he fought Trevor Bryan, it was 246. Then 2 years later, it was 287, and he is going up and down and fluctuated. He had to fight 228. Then the next couple fights in the 250s, he could at times not take that conditioning as seriously. So you're right. It'll be interesting to see what he's going to be coming in at and how seriously he's taking his camp for sure. Let's talk about some pick'em stuff. We got Ryder Cup. Let's talk about the Ryder Cup. Dude, the United States just laid an egg, man. Didn't perform well until Sunday. Sunday, we kicked their ass sideways, but we were so far behind, couldn't make a rally. Europe does win the Ryder Cup. Rory McIlroy's talking. Rory McIlroy's such a bitch. If he's breathing, he's complaining about something. But man, it was a little disappointing. Like, we didn't show any fights. Scottie Scheffler, like, dude, Tiger Woods would have not been okay losing like that. And I love Scottie. I do. I think he's incredible. I really do. But he just doesn't have that mean streak in him, like where you're losing in your home, and he was just okay with it. And that was a little bit of a turnoff for me, man. And I see you nodding over there. I know you're a Scottie guy too. That was a little bit of a turnoff. He didn't seem to be nearly as pissed off as I would have hoped he would have been.
I think they all just went out and partied. That's what it looked like. The night before just got slammed, didn't care. We're getting paid anyway. It doesn't matter type of deal.
Like, dude, the only one that really felt like they had some, hey, I don't want to lose vibe was DeChambeau. He almost fought with the dude's caddy. Like, DeChambeau was like, man, like, I want to win. And by the way, to all of you guys, whether you're golf fans or not, and everybody listening, go on Bryson DeChambeau's YouTube. He posted a video of he playing 18 holes of golf with Kevin Hart as his caddy. Absolutely hilarious.
That's racist.
Absolutely hilarious. Kevin Hart goes insane during that video. He at one point, he's got DeChambeau doing push-ups in the middle of the fairway for not listening to him. It is insanely funny. But yeah, man, you're right, Dan. We just didn't have any competitive streak, man. We didn't seem to give a crap.
The coolest thing out of that weekend was the nickname of Fleetwood Mac. I thought that was the wittiest thing that I've seen in quite some time, aside from Exciting Whites. No, I didn't get a chance to watch too much. It was.
Why are you offended?
Because the whole thing about Fleetwood winning the tournament, I didn't know the dude's name was like Teddy or whatever. And I was calling him Fleetwood Mac. No response from anybody.
Yeah, but he had a partner, Rory McIlroy, so it was Fleetwood Mac.
Oh, okay, I get it now.
Yeah. Did you see Lowry go after the fan and stuff? That to me, that's awesome. That's the things that will maybe make a person that doesn't watch golf watch it. But it was really early in the morning.
It was really, really early in the morning.
It was prime time
For fishing.
Prime time for fishing. It was prime time shake back moments for me right there. I didn't get a chance to watch as hard as I wanted to watch.
It was disappointing, man, because like now, because the fans got rowdy, the fans were trolling the Europeans, the fans were getting drunk, and now we got all these old school American stiffs that are like apologizing. Don't apologize for that. Like we got Tom watching. Oh, I'm so sorry we were rude to you guys. Please come back in 2 years. No, we don't apologize for that. Go watch the Bryson DeChambeau video with Kevin Hart. Kevin Hart says when you hit a 350-yard drive right down the middle, you should grab your crotch. That's how you get more people to watch golf. We should have more attitude in golf, not less. We don't apologize. What are we doing?
They knew what they were getting into.
Right. It's going to be the same 2 years from now when we go over there.
Yeah.
They're not going to apologize to us. Why are we apologizing to them? For what?
Your boy said you got your ticket. You knew what you were getting into.
That's exactly right.
Yeah, people are fucking crybabies now.
Anyway, how is your fantasy team's health? And boy, I got to tell you, I got some fantasy injuries. So I'm curious to hear you guys. I know you are in more leagues than us. Tommy's in 737 leagues. How is the health of y'all's fantasy teams? I got my first win this week. I've been having bad luck, been scored a bunch of points, been losing. But what's going on? Right now for me, I got Bowers, who is in and out. He's questionable every week. He hasn't been doing anything, even though I picked him early. Got Aaron Jones on the IR. I'm expecting him back. I had to cut Tyreek Hill because he's out for this season. I'm beat up by injuries. How are you guys right now with injuries on your fantasy team?
I think my team just sucks in general. We're talking about our group.
I like that.
Our big league that you got bought out of. I got Joe Burrow sitting on the IR, sitting at 2-2. And in the group chat league, I think I'm
dominating that league.
Yeah, I'm 1-3 right now.
Number one team in our group chat league is Nick's Wheel. Number two team, also undefeated, is me.
Off-season superstar.
Yeah, I'm 1-3 as well.
I'll battle back. I'm 1-3, but I got way more points than everybody else who's 1-3. Like I score a lot every week. Just my opponent scores a lot every week.
I just opened my app for the DTB Fantasy Football League and see that Trey Benson's now on IR.
Lovely.
Just now.
Yeah, Nick, I'm in 8th place, 1-3. I have 200 more points than you.
For what?
No, that's points against. Never mind. That's why. That's why I'm 1-3. I got 200 more points scored against me than the first.
You got to, man. You can't stop the other team from scoring. Tommy, how's your team's holding up?
Well, considering my group chat team name is Neighbors in Paris, I'm not doing pretty good right now. So he's out for the year. Other leagues that I got, I just fell bad to the
hour. Tommy's gonna go down all his leagues.
Yeah. Tiger Benson. Baker's my quarterback in the majority of my leagues. He's kind of iffy. And then who else? Ricky Pearsall. I got him in a handful of leagues. He's out. So it's not the greatest, but not as bad as what it sounded like for you guys.
What do y'all think it feels like? Because look, I've had athletes tell me who have had very serious injuries, and they tell me when the leg snaps, like you don't feel any pain. But whenever you are sitting on the ground and you see your leg in a Z shape like Tyreek Hill on Monday, What do you think is going through their minds at that point? Because that's so much work in Tyreek's situation, so much child support that you may or may not be able to pay. What's going through their minds when they're looking down? And I know the adrenaline says they don't feel physical pain yet. That's coming later. And you see your leg and it's, what do you think is going through their heads at that point?
How much money did I just lose? That would be the biggest thing. You're not even supposed to look at that if that happens. I think it sends you into shock if that may happen.
Like, I couldn't imagine.
Tyreek looked pretty freaking happy getting carted off that field. Like, hey, I'm out of Miami. Like, that was just really weird. I don't know if he was just in shock, like if he's just a pain sicko kind of guy. But, yeah, I don't. Usually it's not good. Like, to me, I think one of the images for me last year was when Godwin dislocated his ankle. And
yeah, that was bad.
And so I read his little Players Tribune article that he posted last week when he came back. You could see him like he was trying to get up and he realized he couldn't. And then he's crawling like army style on the ground and looks back and sees his foot the wrong way and just goes. I think that's mostly, like those Trey Lance and type injuries. You just, I remember when I broke my foot and it was leaning the wrong way. I'm just like, oh, great. This is just lovely. I don't think we're supposed to do that. So
how cool were those uniforms for the Dolphins? Those black with the neon coming out. Awesome.
As the kids say, that was tough.
That was tough.
Let's go ahead and thank some of our sponsors. Well, not some of us. Let's thank all of our sponsors for allowing us to be here every Wednesday, Thursday, Tuesday, whenever we are available. The Blue Boot Foundation, Performance Automotive and Accessories, the Law Office of Tommy J. Botto. You better call Botto. Neil's Small Engine, DTB Clothing, the LaFouche Concert and Events Club, Martin's AC and Electric, Buzz Off Mosquito Control, and Down South Cards and Bats. We thank them all so much for their support. And if you want to join our team, shoot us a DM. That's probably the easiest way. We'll get a hold of you guys. You could either shoot Group Chat Podcast a DM or any one of us individually a DM, and we will find a way to make something shake for you.
I'm going to go Coach Riley next.
And your business. Yes, let's get Coach Riley squared away. Then we'll dive into our picks.
Also, check us out on TikTok. It is Group Chat Podcast DTB on the TikTok. We post a lot of our short form videos on there. Some one wire shorts.
Post one now. I have one ready.
Post a lot of good stuff on there. Check it out. Give us a follow, like, comment, and repost our stuff.
The Sponsor Alliance. Look at this graphic.
Yeah, you like that, huh, Counselor?
I mean, I think, maybe change up Alliance to Stable. We could have a sponsor Stable.
Hell yeah.
Our family, the Heenan family was pretty legit.
Hey, that's what I'm,